And
Shifting from Razor TV.
yes, sorry, yes, I met you that day. Yeah.
You mentioned that Osama's death might incite even more terrorist activities. What do you think is Singapore's position when it comes to security at this point in time?
Yes, whenever an incident happens in our neighborhood, I think one of the first things that our security agencies will do is to step up vigilance. Then, of course, you cannot be on high alert all the time. Then you will have to find ways of dealing with it. But with the death of Osama, with the announcement of Osama's death yesterday, immediately security was stepped up. I think your colleagues who went to the PAP HQ yesterday for the press conference would have noticed, because that was the first question that was asked of the PM.
Well, just apart from that, can you talk about some of the measures when you talk about step up? Can you talk about some, what exactly do you mean by stepping up vigilance?
Well, at our checkpoints is a key area where we must have stepped up vigilance and extra security on the lookout, and particularly taking a bit of time, and Singaporeans and other travelers may be slightly inconvenienced as a result of that. Of course, goods come in through many other ways, cargo, through items being put in the boot, car boot, or in vehicles trucked in at our checkpoints, and so on. So you would see that this is also an area that the security agencies will be focusing on.
If I can just add to that, sorry. It's no surprise that most of the other countries have also made the same risk assessment that this death, there is an increased threat of retaliatory attacks. So across the government agencies are doing their risk assessments, not only of Singaporeans, not only within Singapore, but of course Singaporeans who could be in places at risk outside. That's routine, that's part of the SOP. As DPM Wong says, you have to be vigilant, have to calibrate carefully, because we are very open port, open sea, open air, but there is a different risk signature at this point of time, and you just have to see how events unfold. But certainly there has been a change.
So you're putting more manpower on the ground as well, I take it, at the airports and ports and all that.
Yes.
And you expect to have this state of affairs for the next few weeks?
Well, that is a security operation. I'm not able to share with you on these decisions.
Just coming back to the local issues, you talked about the profile of the different sort of local issues in Bishan-Toa. Could you perhaps give us some numbers in terms of proportion, how big a proportion of the young voters make up as compared to those maybe the middle and the older ones? Whether in terms of number, whether in terms of age, that would be the most appropriate.
I think for first-time voters, they are not much different from the national average. Would be about 7 to 8%, those who just come of age in the last 5 years. Then the next group, between the age of say 25 to 30, would be about the same percentage. And of course, there are also many first-time voters in Bishan and Toa Payoh and Shun Fu and Sin Ming and Thomson. If they have not voted in the 1988 election for Bishan and for Thomson and Shun Fu, or if they have not voted in the 1984 election in Toa Payoh, because that was when the last elections took place in Toa Payoh, 1984. And for here in Bishan and Thomson, it was in 1988. There would also be those who moved in from other constituencies where there was no contest for a long time, and they came in here in the last 20 years. They would not have had a chance to vote as well. In fact, they are very excited to vote. For many of them, they're very excited to vote, particularly for the children of the original residents who moved in the late 80s, or moved in the late 80s in both the places. They have not had a chance to vote, so they're very excited. So I always ask them, are you a first-time voter? First-time voter either in terms of coming of age, or first-time voter in terms of not having voted here since the last 20 years. They're very excited too. Very excited. They're looking forward to vote. And when I talk to them, my sense is that their views of us and the party are quite positive.
Coming back to the numbers, that's about 15% or so, 30 and younger.
Yes.
And then the rest of the 85%, what?
Or they'll be spread out. It'll be spread out in every 10-year age group. It'll be like that. Of course, when you reach 60, 70, the numbers will be smaller.
I would say that for those who are 50 and above, solidly behind us, because when we see them, it says, can you please support me? You know, instantaneously and spontaneously, eating the eating. It's almost, why wouldn't I? And it's understandable because they've seen this place transform. They remember Toa Payoh of the 60s and 70s. Then we have young couples here, and I would say of the young couples who own homes here, they see themselves as very fortunate because they know their friends and peers want to stay here but couldn't get it. And I've seen many young couples in their 30s, so first thing I asked them, how can you afford this place? I said, you bought it 3-4 years ago in the late 20s, then they smile, they have 1-2 children, and there's a smile of contentment. So it may be different from young couples elsewhere, but they're very happy to where they have. The ones who are 21 to 30 are searching. It's a politics of ideas, as much as it is about practical issues. They're searching for systems, and as DPM Wong says, I think we want to engage them. We want to hear their ideas because they will have to inherit, not only inherit, but run Singapore one day. And we started out some measures, but I think we can do more. And where it takes a longer time to speak to them because you talk to an older person in his 60s, you just have to say a few words, your same bandwidth. The young, you have to be prepared to invest half an hour, even longer, on just one idea because there will be back and throwing, But I think it's worth the time. We should do it. And I would say among all of us, we have many who are below their 30s who have taken leave to help us in our campaign.
Yes.
I have people from NIE, one ITE student, many in their university, and they are in the full swing of they're coming with us every day, and they're in the thick and thick of things. So we're very thankful for their help.
Yes, indeed, you see many young faces here among our volunteers, and they have taken leave to come here to join us in this campaign.
I think not just the fact that they take leave to join us. I think the enthusiasm with which they approach the residents, the fervour with which they want to get our message across, I think it's very encouraging. I mean, to the extent I would say that I'm very pleasantly surprised.
I met one young lady at a hawker centre because the parents was worried. So he said, we are very supportive of you, but the younger generation, then she said, oh, speak for yourself, the younger said. He said, I disagree because she said, I support our government. She was a young lady, and yet she was telling the father, not all young people are thinking against. So they themselves want to be heard. And I got a young man who questioned me on Facebook yesterday. So I'm trying to engage him. So we are toing and froing on asking me, what can you promise to give us for the next 5 years? So I tell him honestly, we don't give promises. We have plans, we will engage people, and we'll do our best to make Bishan-Toa a beautiful and a caring community. I told him exactly what we said. We have our manifesto. Please read it. If you have any questions, you can always ask me on my Facebook. So there's a real engagement. There's a conversation going on. So we want that to be something which we want to do on a regular basis.
One resident, as I was walking around the blocks, because when I was walking around after chatting with the resident, we load something up on the Facebook, almost instantly. You can see it. So one resident put on my Facebook, Mr. Wong, are you not visiting 184. I was at 183. Then I went to 185, and I went to 187. He said, "You're not coming to 184?" So I said, "Oh, I missed 184, right?" So after a few minutes, well, the post was off. So I said, "What happened? Why did it go off?" So one of my volunteers here, they all act on their own initiative. I don't have to tell them what to do. Straight away put out a comment on the Facebook and say, "We're looking for the restaurant in 184. Who posted the message?" Then they came back on, and they went on for the discussion and the chat. After one chat after another, and finally he said, "Well, I am living here in 184. I saw Mr. Wong, and I want to let him know that he took a picture with me when I was 4 years old." And then he posted a photograph of me and himself 4 years old. Now I'm 14. He's 14 years old, not ready to vote yet. So you'll be surprised that, how young people are engaged. And when I took pictures with young families, and they have kids who are 8 years old, 9 years old, and at the end of it I said that you'll see this on my Facebook. And my next question is, "Do you have Facebook?" And the young boy will go say, "I have. I will tag you." Then I say, "You can tag me, and you can also see this photo of you on my Facebook." So the point is that in this election, we know we missed that group of young people who are not home. But we think we put it in the platform, we put it in the way to engage that group. And there are people following us, knowing what we do. Then of course the older ones don't go to Facebook. But I think they know what we do, because there was one unit I went to, a couple was standing there waiting for me while I was chatting with others. And when I went there, they said, "Mr. Wong, you don't have to come here. You don't need to come and see us." I said, "Why? This campaigning time, I thought I'd come and say hello." No, you don't have to come. I know what you do. I know what you do already. So please go and take a rest. Take a rest, Look after yourself. No need to come here. What you have done, we can all see. These are some of the gratifying stories and remarks that we receive, which encourage us to continue to serve.
You didn't finish the story about why the 14-year-old boy took down the post.
Yes, because he said, "Please do not come to my flat, because my mother will know." My mother will know that I've been doing this. I said, "Fair enough." Fair enough. And he was not the only young boy who had a picture with me. I went to one coffee shop, and among the whole family, about 10 of them sitting around having a dinner. And this boy, I think about 17 years old, and he wanted to take a picture with me. First he shot me when I'm meeting other residents. Then I came to his table, he took a shot of me. I said, "Wow, not just me alone, what about we taking a picture together?" So he passed his phone to his family member, took a picture. And after a while he scrolled, he said, "This was me." And I was with him when I was a very young boy. That was 10 years ago, 16 years old. So, young people will remember, that's a kind of pretty interesting touch points that we have with young families and young people living here.
But also we are also aware the issue of new media is not as simple as it seems, right? Because sometimes people can use the new media, tweeting here and there. Sometimes issues may not be true. They can put things, and then the reality and what is happening on the ground. So we need to be also concerned about that. So we always ensure that whatever we put up is a reflection of what we are doing, and we also want to keep the younger generation aware. Some of these tweeting, some of these postings may not be necessarily true. So we need to also be concerned of that.